and showed the pictures in the stream last week that I was at there. It has complete red mountains and green mountains, like just the full mountains are alternating of those full crazy colors, but they also have small, like thin layers of them. It's very fascinating, alternating back and forth how that happens.
Yeah. This is actually in Oregon. I have pictures of this. I just don't know where it is. But...
Right, and that's more Badlands, no doubt, that they call it.
So, yeah, and so then that's a good way, like if we're looking at landscapes, we're looking at on the edge of the Cascades. Where's there it is. And so, because the Painted Hills are over somewhere over in this area. Oh, Mitchell, they're over here. And so if you look, here's the Cascades, and then you're looking at, well, I guess that's, anyways, you kind of get what I'm talking about with the mountain ridges, obviously, and what comes off of it. And this is like the scab lands, like you talked about, or you just mentioned, it's over here, and this is in between mountain ranges. And then so look at the landscape, and what you were showing made me like immediately
right,
I was like
flooded,
flood.
right,
That looks like flooded
through that area. Look at that. That's very good. I worked there, sister. Like that's what would have been emptying into the scablands that was draining right through that whole area there. Essentially.
And like this is, we know for sure there was like a massive lake in here. And there's still this is like a high desert area, but they're still using the water table underneath. And then this is like the one lake. Okay, and this is interesting. This lake was a part of that controversy where they were holding it hostage. The FBI got involved. Do you guys remember that? The Malheur Refuge takeover. And the funny and interesting story about that is that the connection is this is actually one of the higher productions of uranium in the United States.
Really?
We found out that the Sea Foundation was involved in this because they were trying to procure land in this area, and there's like a weird fight that's been going on for a while, and I think it has to do with like procuring the uranium land between the BLM and these ranchers, these old ranchers that own this area. So, and this is like there's supposedly a military base, a few of them like out, because you're like talking, there's places that you're in the middle of nowhere, so
right,
anyway.
like there's so much in this area that just,
and this is all these right here, all these blue markings is I've talked about this before, but if any of you haven't seen it, I'll just show you real quick. This is my little, I found this through looking up Oregon petroglyphs and geoglyphs, and somebody had marked, this was something weird. I was like, what the hell was that? Because you can see that's rock. And there's a fence around it. Okay, sorry.
What is that?
That's not what I was trying to show, but
that
squirreling out on you.
Fascinating as F, though.
Yeah, I just scoured this whole area because I'm now like, this area to me already had a special place with just like that I loved and explored. I had really, really cool experiences here. I feel like I potentially like had a time shift here at one point.
Look at all the circles. Are these
yeah, this is what I was telling you. And so what I love is that somebody literally just pointed this one out, and there's known petroglyphs right here, and they're like, look at this interesting circle here. But if you really start to look at all of these markings, it looks like
there's some to the left. Yeah, there's
and then and it almost looks like something like drove over, but then there's like this weird dripping kind of effect going on, and you don't see that everywhere, which is what's weird. Okay, and there's lines here, but there's not like, this isn't Like, look at these lines. Like, this to me looks like rain erosion.
Yeah,
And then we'll see
definitely.
like the difference between
For
this
sure.
and this. And then look at this. Okay, so then I found more. I mean, there's these weird marks.
222.
And then here's more circles. And there's actually what I found out is that I know the history of this place a little bit because I was so fascinated, but finding that information on the internet is not super easy. And so I am gonna do I'll
Oh,
do like
look at more of those. Look at the spiral
boom,
ones.
look at that. Boom, boom.
Where are these exactly?
And this is okay, and then real quick, you see, look at this is the shape. That's
Before
just
zooming
crazy.
out, Sarah, please get the exact location for these ones and
Oh,
post it in
this
live
is
chat.
Heart Mountain, Oregon.
Heart
And now
Mountain, Oregon.
I can type that into the chat. Is that I'm sorry. Is that what people asking? Yes, the
Yes,
water.
ma'am.
I think that's where water was. That's what he's yes, these are this okay, this to me too is the almost looks like the symbol where they have them intercrossing, like sort of like an infinity, and that has been associated with the
Yeah,
water. Okay, also look at this shape. Look at there's like almost like a hexagon. Not it's more sides than that, but it's kind of a weird shape, and it has a lot of that line. Almost looks like there's a person that was like drawn in here, and then there's interesting rock structures. Look at that within that. So I've been here, like I said, and I haven't, a lot of times I come out here and it's too wet to walk out to some of these areas because it's all flooded. And so, right
and
here,
yet
I like,
still the petroglyphs, like the circles and spirals,
look at the
persist.
rock. Yeah. And look at the rock in here. Like, I didn't even know this. And this to me stands out. And there's
Can
more
you
of
zoom
that.
in more?
Yeah.
Or closer on those?
Oh, on these, yeah. Look at
Yeah.
that. Look at it's clearly
Oh,
was formed like an
yeah.
old pen or something. And this is not the only area on this mountain
I
where this
see very
exists.
similar things like this in southern Alberta that I've been documenting, that I actually have a whole bunch of photos that are down at my aunt's with my mom's uh, um, computer right now that I will be doing an episode on probably next week once I have them and I'm back from Medicine Hat.
Cool. Yeah, I can't wait to go back. I have so many photos of this place. Um, Let me show you something really quick that I've shown you before about this place that to me, I
Oh, I
feel like,
lost the computer. I lost a Bert and Ernie apparently.
oh, what? That keeps
Homunculus
happening.
down.
Keeps kicking them out. Like, it's upset or something. I don't know. Okay, hold on. Where's my pictures? It would be. So when you think you're ready, I made a special folder for Heart Mountain. There it is. And I just want to show like the sides of the. I have more photos too that I need to put together for this. It's like before I even knew what I was like looking at. I mean, look at that. It looks like a freaking pyramidal shape, like right in front of you.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Couple for sure potential
Right there. Look
candidate.
at that.
Have to check the alignments on them to see. But yeah, big potential there.
And this is huge. Like, it's so long. There's such weird history. Oh yeah, there's somebody who like made a plexiglass house I have to go check out that was like abandoned. And I think I talked about this is like supposed to be one of the first homestead areas too. So I just feel like there's some really interesting history about these areas and places in general. And I think Oregon's kind of a hidden gem, and so it's like they don't it's not as well sought out for this kind of stuff. But I mean, we find fossils here all the time, so to me it makes me wonder. Look at that ridge line. I feel like I had another shot. Oh yeah, and then look at these in the distance. These are called the
Right,
rabbit
like
hills.
this
And
is stuff we're gonna have to go back over with Dutch and look at, because it's potential that it's all terraformed on a macro scale.
yeah, it's just hard to. I know it's. Yeah. See, and then here's like, oh, this isn't the one. Sorry. There's one where there's more evidence of the rock forts and the rock formations. Oh,
Nice. And
this
like
is this is on the top.
often terracing too, if there's sites with obvious terraces, like in Peru or South Africa and stuff, those are always dead giveaways.
Yeah. But I think I told you too, I found a spearhead and an arrowhead on the top of this.
Really? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So, like, and the spearhead is like a type of agate, just some kind of random agate. Oh, sorry, this was on Heart Mountain. This photo, so this isn't totally random. This was the
Beautiful.
experience I had. Like, mostly, there's usually people up here all the time, and this one trip we went, and there was like, it was the end of May. There was one person up there that ended up coming up during our trip. We were up there for like 2 weeks. It was magical. We camped next to this owl and their babies, and this was Dad. And then we also had, and that's Mom. And then we also had this experience where we were coming down from this pond. We came around the corner and like they lined up in a row like that. So that was super cool. So that was, and again, like nobody was
That's
out there
pretty
at that time.
epic.
I felt like I was like in another time, and it, it sort of felt like I was transported.
Like a little herd of the sheep.
Yeah, that was super cool, and they look
Look in the
alien.
background. That looks like a Star Bastion fort almost. That boop boop boop. That's like missing the foliage. That's like light next to on the left
Like
side there.
this, there's
Look.
some.
And
This
then
is
right
like
there,
lake
yeah.
beds in
Okay,
here
that's
too.
Sky Lake bed. Gotcha.
But this is this. There's the history of this place is really interesting because it's that whole, you know, the Pacific Northwest was built with the Army Corps, and I find that fascinating. The history with some of the huge big lodges that they built, and some of that in Alaska too. Like,
Yeah, and
it,
like the sanitary fairs and the like one group of like laborers or whatever the heck that like went through and in the like 50s or early 60s, late 50s, I think, or something, or maybe it was the dirty 30s they started. I forget what it was.
yeah, dirty 30s.
My bad. I'm Canadian. Sorry, I
No,
don't know American.
no, you're good.
Yes,
You're good. I'm from Wisconsin, so we're not that far apart.
right?
Stacy,
Oregon's
that's
beautiful
super
too.
cool. If you know about Heart Mountain, I just feel like it's, even though there's people up there, it's still like a hidden spot. Oh, the other interesting thing is the mountains that I was showing that are off to like the side over here that I was showing in
Show it all, girl. Show it
really
all.
quick. These right here, the
As
Rabbit
far
Hills,
as
and this
mountain
is where
range.
there's rare sunstones. I wish it was
And look
easier
at
to
those
like,
lakes.
right?
Oh, I
I
guess
should
that's a
show you
man-made
this on
road,
Google.
probably.
Let me
A
show
road
you
or a
on
dam.
Google Earth really quick a little bit of this area, and then I'm going to show you the sunstones because they're one of the most unique types of gemstone, and they're only found in Oregon. Now, sunstone, there are other sunstones, but Oregon one specifically, and they have the red and green in it sometimes. Oregon sunstone.
Really? I would love to see these sunstones you speak of.
Okay, and then ooh.
Oh, so
Was that
here,
more where you were? Oh, that's okay. That's fascinating. I see a face on that one, but that could obviously be
right? Well,
Pareidolia.
I'm I don't think pareidolia. I think that
Looks like a little
probably
face.
is. I believe this is in the same area. This is
Whoa,
in Giants
interesting rock.
Playground. Yeah, this is in Giants Playground in Montana, and the lady there that's like found, discovered, and curating it all believes this is like example of a titan bone of biogeology, and like that being a titan's ankle bone potentially, and uh,
Oh, it does look like a bone.
could be
A lot like an ankle bone.
right. Good spot for Mike to check out. I believe this is in that same area in Montana.
That ridge was interesting. The banding is something that would definitely be worth doing more exploring. And one thing I've been saying recently is I feel like we should be trying to do samples.
Yeah, I've been collecting. I mean, not in
Okay,
national
cool.
parks, but outside of them. I've been collecting samples for biogeology and uh, just geology in general, checking out. And this one is in Alberta. This is a petroglyph at Writing Stone National Park that I will also be checking out. Hopefully, if I get enough time and if I can afford the gas, if it's a little off the main road. Also, all donations do help and are going towards that. As oh my god, I have so many travels and expenses this upcoming month. It's through July. It is going to be crazy, but it's also my birthday in 1 week's time today.
Woohoo!
It's 1, 2, 3, 4 right now, 12:34 a.m. So actually, it's 6 days, less than a week now to my birthday
Nice.
officially. I'm just gonna go through a few more pictures and then I will give her back to you.
Oh, you're
This
fine.
is also in Montana in Giants
Oh,
Playground, which looks absolutely like geopolymer
whoa! Come on, look
polygonal
at the stacking.
megalithic work. Exactly. That looks like
Seriously.
polygonal megalithic work without a shadow of doubt. So this
Yeah.
is where I am going, and
Woohoo!
I will be here in 3 days' time. And in this entire valley, now that we're on topic, and this is, of course, my Crypto Alchemist logo, this location, aka Kaboom. Um, for those that weren't aware, and shout out to Esra right here, Mindful Exposures, that made this design for me of this guy, which is in this valley, this huge, massive valley area that has not just the Badland Guardian guy there, as well as what's on the bottom right circled called the Yelling Native, which I do believe is a secondary um, figure of a yelling face here, possible uh, um, Mayan or Olmec or Aztec, I guess, potentially this guy. This one being an Olmec right here. The main Plains warrior guy. This sort of showing a potential depiction, but I more go by. Oops, I don't have that one up. Never mind. But that in this valley, there's also these guys, which look like the Moai or also Easter Island guy, and like the Hawaiian or New Zealand ones, the big headed, big nosed, big browed giant megalithic statues. You can see on the left side the lighter one that looks like the Easter Island style, and then on the right side, the darker one with the brows, the nose, the big mouth, chin sort of thing, like the Hawaiian or what do you call it? New Zealand sort of tribal styles. and that guy being up at the very top.